Notre Dame operating out of the tee with Bobby Williams in the quarterback slot. Williams hands off to Billy Barrett on a cross buck that's good for 2 yards. Ball on the Tar Heels 8-yard line. Williams hands off to his left halfback, Billy Gay, who cuts off right tackle and drives 4 yards to the Carolina 2. Williams sends fullback Jack Landry into the middle, but he is piled up after a short gain. It's 4th down on the Carolina 2. Williams crosses up the Tar Heels defense as he shoots a spot pass to Jim Mutchler in the right flat, and the Irish hang up their first touchdown of the 1950 season. Joe Crepera's placement splits the uprights, and the Irish lead 7-0. Later in the first period, the Irish are on the move again. Bobby Williams pitches out to right halfback Billy Barrett. Barrett starts wide to his right, cuts back, spins away from a host of tacklers, and breaks for the sidelines. He races up the field 51 yards to the Carolina 33, where he is filled by Dick Bunting. Notre Dame's ball, 4th and 5 on the Carolina 20. It's Bobby Williams back to pass. He throws out into the left flat to fullback Jack Landry. Landry eludes one tackler, moves between 2 more, but is dropped on the 16-yard line, and the Carolinians take over on downs. North Carolina now in punt formation. Dick Bunting standing on his own 5-yard line. He fakes a kick and swings to the outside. He gets around the right side of the Notre Dame line. He carries upfield for 37 yards before being piled up on the Notre Dame 48-yard line. But that's as far as they go, as Notre Dame retains its 7-0 margin at intermission. Late in the third period, Carolina driving to tie up the ball game. Billy Hayes blasts through the middle for 12 yards and a first down. As the fourth quarter gets underway, tailback Bill Hayes connects with end Charlie White on the Tar Heel 40, and White moves across the midfield stripe and down to the Notre Dame 43-yard line. The Tar Heels line up strong to the left. Hayes takes the pass from center, spins and hands off to Bud Wallace. Wallace, behind good blocking, cuts inside Notre Dame's right end and breaks for the sidelines, going all the way to the Notre Dame 2-yard line before being driven out of bounds by Bill Gay. First and goal to go on the Notre Dame 2. The ball is snapped to Billy Hayes. He hands off to Bud Wallace, coming wide around the right side of his line and going all the way to tie up the ball game at 7-all. The fired-up Notre Dame 11 lashes back. Bobby Williams passing to Jack Landry for 18 yards and a first down on the North Carolina 37. Bobby Williams directing the Notre Dame attack. Passes again to Jack Landry for 9 more yards. On first down and with less than 3 minutes remaining to be played, Williams fades to pass for the Irish. He arches a long one into the end zone. Jim Mutchler takes it over his shoulder for a touchdown as the Irish rebound and shade North Carolina by a 14-7 count, making it 39 straight games without a defeat. Purdue snaps the Notre Dame winning streak after 39 consecutive victories. With the game not yet 3 minutes old, Dale Samuels pitches out on his own 14-yard line to right halfback Neil Schmidt, who swings wide. He stays close to the far sideline, then cuts back through the middle, and he's in the clear on his way for an 86-yard run. The officials, however, ruled that he stepped out of bounds on the Purdue 26, so it will be 1st and 10 for the blank-sized sophomore quarterback. Fades to pass on first down. He throws. It's complete to Mike Macchioli, good for 18 yards and a first for Purdue. The penalty moves the ball down to the 40-yard line, where Sam hands off to Johnny Carestes, who drives through the middle for 19 long yards. On first down, Neil Schmidt slips around the left side of his line, picking up 11 yards. It's 4th and goal to go. Carestes is stopped at the Notre Dame 1-yard line, and the Irish halt the Purdue scoring threat. Still in the first quarter, Purdue driving again. It's Johnny Carestes cracking the Notre Dame line for 6 yards. Dale Samuels under center for Purdue. He's going to pass. He throws. It's taken by Macchioli, who slides out of bounds on the Boilermakers' 43. Mixing his plays very well, Samuels gives to halfback Neil Schmidt, who shoots into the Notre Dame secondary for 19 yards and a first down. With the ball on the Notre Dame 31, it's Little Dale Samuels fading and looking to pass. He arches a long one downfield that falls incomplete over the goal. But the officials rule interference on the part of Notre Dame, so it's 1st and goal to go for Purdue on the Irish 2. Purdue 6-0. On the try for point, Dale Samuels' placement is perfect, and to the amazement of 57,000 fans, Purdue leads the Irish 7-0. In the second period, Purdue driving into Notre Dame territory once more. Samuels fading to throw. He heaves a long one that drops into the arms of Neil Schmidt down on the Irish 7. On a crossbuck, Samuels gives it to Carestes, who smacks over the left side for 5. It's 2nd and goal to go on the Irish 2. Carestes going over the right side of his line and scoring again, making it 13-0 Purdue. Following the kickoff, the Fighting Irish snap back. Bobby Williams passing from his own 15. It's completed to big Jim Muchler, who is downed after a 10-yard gain. On 4th down, Williams goes back to pass for the Irish. Flowers, Chet Ostrowski grabbed, but the official trap ball and the Boilermakers take over. Quarterback Samuels gives off to Schmidt again, who knifes off tackle for a 10-yard gain. A penalty shoves the Boilermakers back to their own 44, where Samuels tosses out to Neil Schmidt, who swings wide for 14 yards to the Irish 30. On first down, Samuels drops back to pass again. He's rushed, but steps out and puts a long one down the middle that's taken beautifully by Schmidt. He's over the goal line, and Purdue assumes a commanding 21-0 lead at halftime. Early in the second half, a fired-up Notre Dame line charges in to smear Phil Klesak, who fumbles, and the Irish recover for their first break of the game. The ball on the Purdue 9. Williams hands off to Bill Gay, who cuts inside in for 6 fat yards. It's 4th and 2 for the Fighting Irish. Bobby Williams lays a spot pass into the lap of Jim Muchler in the end zone as Notre Dame hangs up its first 6-pointer of the game. And the Irish now trail 21-7. Late in the third period, the Irish are still on the comeback trail. Williams shovels out to Billy Barrett, who sweeps wide around the left side of the Purdue forward wall and romps down the sideline for 33 yards to the Boilermakers' 23. This time, it's a Williams to Landry handoff that nets the Irish 6 yards to the Purdue 15. On third down, Billy Barrett slaps over the right side of his line for a first down on the 10. On the first play of the final quarter, Williams hands off to John Pettitbone, who comes over the right side of his line, cuts upfield, and scores for Notre Dame to narrow the count now to 21-14 Purdue, and the Notre Dame Rooters are beside themselves. On third down and with 8 yards to go, Purdue's Dale Samuels pitches out to Schmidt, who carries around his right end and just makes the first down on the Boilermakers' 43. 3 plays later, it's Little Dale Samuels running to his left and tossing a pass into the arms of Mike Macchioli on the midfield stripe. Macchioli races down the near sideline, shakes off Pettitbone on the 5, and completes a 53-yard touchdown play. Score, Purdue 28, Notre Dame 14. Won't give up the ship. Williams laterals out to Bill Barrett, who comes wide toward the near sideline, carrying upfield 20 yards to the Boilermakers' 47. opening play, fullback Jack Landry rips through the Purdue line for 20 yards and a first down. On the same play, it's Landry carrying again, but he's hit and fumbles away the last hopes of a Notre Dame victory as Purdue holds on to the ball and down the Fighting Irish 28-14 in the first big upset of the season. The Irish topple Tulane in the Sugar Bowl at New Orleans. On the first play from scrimmage, Tulane quarterback Joe Ernst pitches out to fullback Harold Wagoner, who goes off his right side of the line for 13 yards before being driven out of bounds at midfield. Tulane finds the Irish flanks vulnerable early in the game as Wagoner skirts the Notre Dame left flank for 11 yards and a first down on the Notre Dame 39. Out of the tee, quarterback Joe Ernst moves back to pass. He loops a high spiral that drops into the waiting arms of Ellsworth Kingery, way down on the 4-yard line of Notre Dame. In slow motion now, Ernst tosses out to left halfback George Kennick, who sweeps around the left side of the Notre Dame line and into the end zone, and for the second week in succession, the Irish find themselves trailing early in the game. Tommy Como adds the extra point as the Green Wave breaks with a splash, giving Tulane a 7-0 lead. Following the kickoff, the Fighting Irish surge back. Bobby Williams shoots a pass down the right side to Jim Mutchler that's good for 22 yards to the Notre Dame 43. 3 plays later, it's Williams running back to his right. He's going to pass. There it goes. Johnny Pettitbone takes it over his shoulder, and he's in the clear to complete a 54-yard touchdown maneuver. Joe Caprara converts as the Irish throw the game into a 7-7 stalemate. Later in the first period, Bob Williams on his own 11-yard line is in kicking formation. He boots a high spiral upfield. George Kennick takes it on the Tulane 30 and reverses to Ellsworth Kingery, who comes in toward the near sideline and romps upfield for 45 yards before being thrown out of bounds by the last Notre Dame defender, Bobby Williams. On the following play, Joe Ernst, passing for Tulane, overshoots his mark, and the aerial boomerangs as John Bush intercepts on the Notre Dame 11, breaks for the sidelines, and carries upfield for 30 yards to squelch the Green Wave scoring effort. On the first play of the second period, Williams rifles a pass to John Pettitbone, good for 9 yards to the Notre Dame 42. Williams again passing, this time to Jim Mutchler, who carries down to the Tulane 45. Once again, the Irish utilize the precision passing arm of Bobby Williams. On the receiving end this time is John Pettitbone, a New Orleans boy, and the play is good for 24. Sophomore halfback Ralph Palome smacks over the left side of his line for a first down on the Tulane 10. On the very next play, fullback Dale Ganda rips through the middle of the Tulane line, spins into the end zone to put the Irish in front 13-7. Joe Capera's placement sails wide of the mark, and the score remains 13-7, favor of the Irish at halftime. After a scoreless third period, the Green Wave starts to swell. Ronnie Kent cuts inside the Notre Dame left end and carries through the secondary for 13 yards to the Tulane 35. On a quick opening play, halfback George Kennick knifes through the line, breaks for the far sideline, and moves into the clear, carrying 52 yards before being shoved out of bounds on the Notre Dame 10 by Pettitbone. With the ball in the Irish 6, Don Brignac hits the right side of his line, fumbles, and Captain Jerry Groom recovers for Notre Dame to stop another Tulane scoring bid. With the ball on the Irish 5-yard line, Bobby Williams attempts a bootleg play, but he is dropped in the end zone by Don Joyce, the Tulane left tackle, and the Southerners hang up a safety and trail now by only 4 points, 13-9. With the clock running out, the Green Wave takes to the air. Ernst tosses to Kent, who carries upfield to the Tulane 25. It's quarterback Joe Ernst going back to pass for Tulane. He shoots it downfield. Leo McKillop intercepts for Notre Dame on the Tulane 40 to cut off this last-ditch Tulane bid. And the Fighting Irish return once again to the winner's column as they stem the tide of the Green Wave and eke out a narrow 13-9 victory over Tulane. The Indiana Hoosiers annex their first victory over Notre Dame since 1906. In the opening period, Notre Dame's Bob Williams punts from his own 22. It's a long, high spiral that sails into Indiana territory. Gene Gedman, an 18-year-old sophomore from Duquesne, Pennsylvania, takes it on the 20 and runs laterally to his left. Cuts upfield, then swings out to the far sideline, picking up blockers all the way. Bobby Williams slows him down at the 30, and Bill Flynn finally forces him out of bounds on the Irish 18. A magnificent 62-yard return. It's 4th and 1 for Indiana on the Notre Dame 8-yard line. DeChilly gives off to Gedman on a crossbuck. He's hit by Dick Cotter, but just makes it for a first down on the Notre Dame 7. DeChilly fakes a handoff and throws a jump pass to Don Luft in the end zone to give the Hoosiers a 6-0 lead over the South Bend 11. Still in the first period, and the Hoosiers are on the loose again. DeChilly fakes beautifully before pitching out to Gedman, who sweeps his left end for 5 yards. DeChilly under center, fakes a pitch out and keeps the ball as he moves through for 6 more yards. Indiana's Lou DeChilly removes all the stoppers early in the game as he crosses up the Irish on a variation of the old Statue of Liberty, with Bobby Robertson swinging wide and giving the pigskin a 24-yard ride to the Notre Dame 43. 2 plays later, DeChilly, mixing his plays very well, goes back to pass. He's rushed, but gets it away. Throws a jump pass to Gedman, who is brought down by Bill Gay on the Notre Dame 26. On the first play of the second quarter, DeChilly throws into the right flat to Bobby Robertson, who is run out of bounds on the Irish 15. Bobby Robertson carrying again, this time over the left side of his line for a first down on the Notre Dame 5. School's out for the Hoosiers as Robertson cracks the middle and somersaults over the goal line to give the underdog Indiana 11 a 13-0 lead. Following the kickoff, the heretofore bottled-up Irish offensive shows signs of life. Landry carries for a substantial gain through the middle. Once again, it's fullback Landry who gets the call, and he cracks the Indiana line for 15 more. At the 40, Sam Winstrom tries to steal the ball. There's a fumble, but Jerry Groom pounces on the pigskin for Notre Dame. The Irish drive to the Indiana 32, where quarterback Williams hands off to Bill Gay, who circles his right end for 6 yards and another first down. After 3 line plays fail, Williams drops back to pass. He heaves a long one downfield, but Bill Gay can't hold it, and the first half comes to an end with Indiana leading Notre Dame 13-0. The Hoosiers set off the second half fireworks in a hurry. Lou DeChilly on a quick opening play gives to Bobby Robertson, who moves into the Notre Dame secondary and cuts for the sideline. At the 40, he's in the clear, and the halfback, who ironically enough hails from South Bend, goes on to score easily, completing a 73-yard touchdown jaunt as the Hoosiers hike their advantage to 20-0 over the favored Irish 11. Trailing by 3 touchdowns, the Irish display their old come-from-behind spirit. Del Ganda takes a Williams pass and spins his way to the Notre Dame 37. At quarterback now for Notre Dame is John Mazer from Plymouth, Pennsylvania. Mazer lobs a screen pass to Del Gander. Gander falls in behind Freddie Wallner and goes over the 50 and down to the Indiana 39. On the following play, it's Mazer again, back to pass for the Irish. He throws over the left side to Jim Metzler, who goes for 21 yards to the Indiana 18. On a straight power play, fullback Del Ganda drives through the middle to the Indiana 7. Williams back at quarter for Notre Dame, but it's Gander again, meandering through the Hoosier line and spinning into the end zone for the first Irish score of the day. They trail now 20-7. Late in the final period, Notre Dame trying to salvage another score. Williams passes to Muchscheller for 10 yards. Fullback Gander smacks over his left guard to the Indiana 30. With the clock running out, Williams goes to the air. He throws downfield. The Hoosiers' George Byers intercepts to cut off the last Irish threat as Indiana upsets Notre Dame 20-7. 58,000 fans watched the Michigan State Spartans nip the Fighting Irish in a 36-33 thriller. In the first period, Notre Dame's ball on State's 48. Williams fades. He throws, and Jim Muchscheller takes it in stride and slides out of bounds on the Michigan State 19. After 3 plays, gain only 1 yard, Coach Frank Leahy sends Johnny Mazer in to replace Williams at quarterback. Mazer, with the coach's play, fades to pass. The bench strategy clicks as Mazer hits Muchscheller at the goal line with an 18-yard touchdown pass, and the Irish are first to make an appearance on the scoreboard. They lead 6-0. Now the Spartans start to move. On a direct pass from center, Everett Grandelius goes outside his right tackle for a first down on the Notre Dame 37. With the ball on the Notre Dame 17, Pisano skirts left end for 7 yards before being literally buried under by the Irish. A penalty shoves the Spartans back to the Notre Dame 14, but not for long as Pisano cuts inside Notre Dame's right tackle and scoots into the end zone to put Michigan State out front 7-6. With the ball on his own 26, Williams throws a spot pass over center that's intercepted by Michigan State's Doug Weaver. Weaver returns 13 yards to the Notre Dame 26. From the tee, halfback Vince Pisano takes the handoff and blasts his way for 12 yards to the Notre Dame 14. With the ball on the Irish 7, the Spartans shift into their powerful single-wing right. Leroy Crane hands off to Grandelius, who swings to his right, cuts upfield, and goes into the end zone for a Michigan State touchdown, giving the Spartans a 14-6 lead over Notre Dame. Later in the first period, the Irish are forced to kick. Jim King charges in to block Williams' punt in the end zone. Michigan State's Doug Weaver races over and falls on the ball for a Spartan touchdown. Score now 20-6, Michigan State. The Irish launch a counter-offensive. On a quick opening play, John Pettitbone moves through the Michigan State secondary for 40 yards and a first down on the Spartans' 8 as the first quarter comes to a close. In slow motion now, here's Notre Dame's second touchdown. Quarterback Bob Williams fakes to Gander and hands off to John Pettitbone, who moves to the outside, then cuts back and goes over to score, narrowing the Spartans' margin to a 20-13 count. In the third period, Michigan State now leads 23-13 by virtue of Carey's field goal. Notre Dame takes over. Pettitbone knifes inside his left guard, goes 33 yards in all before being pulled down from behind by Jesse Thomas on the Spartans' 12. With Michigan State now using a tight defense that stops Notre Dame's running, Williams flips a 16-yard pass to Muchscheller, who turns and goes into pay dirt as the Irish bounce back to narrow the gap 23-20. Nearing the end of the third period, the Irish again on the attack. Bill Gay bulls his way for 8 yards to the Michigan State 40. 3 plays later, Williams moves back to pass. He shoots one over the left side to Jerry Marchand that's good for 13 as the third period is concluded with State leading Notre Dame 23-20. Before the final period is 2 minutes old, Notre Dame's Bob Williams rifles a bullet pass down the middle to Muchscheller, who takes it on the 6 and goes on to score as the Fighting Irish surge back to wrest the lead from the Spartans. 26-23 Notre Dame. The Spartans go all out to regain the lead. Pisano drives over his right guard and through the Notre Dame secondary to flick for 28 yards. 2 plays later, Grandelius starts out to his right, cuts back, going for 3 yards and a touchdown as State rallies to come from behind to recapture the lead 29-26. The Spartans turn an intercepted pass into another scoring threat. Al Durrell lobs a pass into the left flat, and Crane rambles along to the Notre Dame 35. On a delayed buck, fullback and captain Leroy Crane drives outside his left guard and into the Notre Dame secondary for 9 yards. The Spartans are hungry for that score DeRoe pitches out to Don McAuliffe, who throws a jump pass to Bob Carey way down on the 1-yard line. Notre Dame's Dave Flood grabs the ball from Carey, but the officials ruled that the steal took place after the whistle. Pay dirt now in sight. The Spartans line up in single wing. Crane hands off to McAuliffe, who swings upfield and dives over the goal to give the Spartans a 10-point, 36-26 edge. The Irish come back with their never-say-die spirit as quarterback Mazer fades and arches a long pass downfield. It's caught beautifully by Jim Muchler, who is downed immediately on the Michigan State 21. The 10-point passing of Johnny Mazer carries the Irish to the Michigan State 4, where Mazer tosses to Marchand, who steps goalward. Marchand is knocked out of bounds near the end zone. However, the officials have ruled that the score was legal. But that's as close as the Irish can come, and they lose a thriller to Michigan State, 36-33. Notre Dame's Fighting Irish climb back on the victory bandwagon at the expense of Navy. After a scoreless first period, it's Notre Dame's ball in their own 12. Williams' pass is picked off by Navy's Bill Powers, who had run out of bounds on the Irish 3. It's first and goal to go for the Middies. Bobby Zastro on a quarterback sneak pushes down to the Notre Dame 1. Again, it's Zastro on a sneak play that pushes his way across for the first touchdown of the day as the Middies take a 7-0 lead over favored Notre Dame. Later in the second period, the Irish explode with a broadside salvo that stuns the sailors. Jack Landry on a quick opening play sprints through the Navy secondary and sets sail for the Middies' goal. But his touchdown hopes are scuttled as John Gursky drags him down in a sea of mud on the Navy 10. After 2 running plays fail, Williams leaps and throws a spot pass to Chet Ostrowski, who is down on the 5-yard line of the midshipman. It's 4th down and 5 yards to go for a touchdown. Bobby Williams is back to pass. He ducks under one tackler and throws into the end zone. Bill Gay makes a beautiful catch to knot the count at 7-all. In the second half, Navy's ball in their own 44. Quarterback Zastro drops back to pass. He throws. It's complete to Bill Powers for 22 yards to the Irish 34. On a quick opening play, Frank Hoff drives over left guard for a first down on the Notre Dame 15. At this point, the Notre Dame forward wall drives back the onrushing midshipman, but the sailors aren't to be denied as Roger Drew boots an 11-yard field goal between the uprights as the Middies surge back to recapture a 10-7 lead. The Irish retaliate quickly as Jim Muchler takes a Williams spot pass for 10 yards. Notre Dame drives at the Navy 46, where Murray Johnson comes across the right side of his line and cuts upfield for 11. The Irish forward wall opens a big hole this time as Jack Landry slashes outside his left tackle for a first down on the Middies 11. After 2 running plays and at the Irish nothing, Williams goes to the air and connects with Chet Ostrowski on the Navy 4. On 4th down, the Irish hit through the air with Bobby Williams threading the needle with Chet Ostrowski in the end zone for a touchdown. Notre Dame is out in front for the first time today, 13-10. Late in the third period, the midshipmen weigh anchor as Freddie Franco takes the pitch out and skirts his right flank for 11 yards. On the final play of the third quarter, Franco tries to get around the left side of his line, but is stopped by Jim Muchler after a short gain. The Irish defensive unit forces the Middies to punt. Captain Jerry Groom surges in to block Bob Cameron's kick, and it's Notre Dame's ball on the 16-yard line. The Irish are quick to capitalize on the break as fullback Jack Landry blasts through the middle for 9 long yards. The Tars defensive brigade digs in, but there's just no stopping that man Landry today as he powers his way over the goal line for the final touchdown of the day. Joe Barbera's placement sails wide of the mark, but the Irish didn't need this one as they sank the Navy 19-10. Notre Dame claws out an 18-7 victory over the Pittsburgh Panthers. In the first period, Notre Dame's Bobby Williams drops back and heaves a strike to Chet Ostrowski that's good for a first down on the Irish 48. Once again, sharpshooting Williams plays havoc with the Panthers' pass defense. He connects with John Pettibone, who goes for another first on the Pitt 32. On the following play, halfback Dick Cotter spins across the right side of his line for 7 more. The magic eye of the slow-motion camera captures the action as Notre Dame's Bobby Williams moves back to his right to pass on 4th down. Williams fires one down the right side. Jim Muchler makes a leaping catch on the Pitt 2 and carries the Panthers' Bill Sitchko over the goal line for the first scoring play of the game, as Notre Dame breaks the ice and takes an early 6-0 lead. Following the kickoff, Pittsburgh's Bill Reynolds drives over the left side of his line. He's hit and fumbles. Notre Dame's Bill Gay dives on the pigskin to give the Irish possession on the 38-yard line of the Panthers. 2 plays later, Williams fakes into the line, then laterals back to Johnny Pettibone, who skirts his right flank for 9 yards before being driven back on the Pitt 31. End of the second period, Williams flips a 4th down pass to Jack Landry that clicks for a first on the Panthers' 16. It's 4th and 5 for Frank Leahy's aggregation on the Pitt 12. They're shooting for a score as Williams heaves one toward the goal line. He leads Pettibone nicely, and the speedy halfback snares it on the 2, and he moves across, putting Notre Dame on top 12-0. Moments later, Notre Dame's ball again on the Pitt 33. Williams back to throw a 3rd down pass. He shoots one down the middle, but it's intercepted by Bill Reynolds on the Panther 21. Reynolds swings for the far sideline and cuts upfield, falling in behind a host of blockers. He sprints down the far sideline for 59 yards before the Irish nail him on their own 18. But that's as far as the Panthers can go, and the half ends with Notre Dame still leading 12-0. Bobby Bestwick, Pitt's 20-year-old junior quarterback, sparks the Panther attack as he flips a strike to halfback Chris Warner, who shakes off one tackler and then another as he carries 22 yards to the Irish 28. The Panthers can go nowhere on the ground, but they compensate for their deficiency with a passing of Bobby Bestwick as he again hits Chris Warner, who laterals to Bill Sitchko, and Bill fights down to the Notre Dame 15. It's 1st and 10 for the Panthers from the Irish 15. Bestwick crosses up the Notre Dame defense by passing. In the end zone, Nick DeRosa leaps between the Irish defenders to make a sensational diving catch that puts Pittsburgh right back in the battle. They trail 12-7. In the final quarter, it's Notre Dame on the rebound. Williams passes to Chet Ostrowski, who makes a leaping catch, and he's pulled down in the Pitt 44. The Irish onslaught continues as fullback Jack Landry explodes through the Panther line and into the secondary, going 21 yards before being upended by Bill Reynolds on the Pitt 3. Two plays later, Williams again gives the ball to fullback Jack Landry, who drives over the goal line, climaxing an 81-yard scoring march that puts the finishing touch on Notre Dame's 18-7 conquest over the scrappy Pittsburgh Panthers. The Iowa Hawkeyes battle the Irish to a 14-14 standstill. First period, Notre Dame's ball in their own 15. Williams' jump pass is taken and then dropped by Chet Ostrowski, and Iowa's Bristow snatches it up on the Irish 23. Hawkeye quarterback Drawn takes a handoff to Comack and pitches out to Reichhardt, who goes outside his right tackle for 4 yards. On a quick opening play, Iowa's Comack cracks the Notre Dame line, slips through the secondary, and over to score for the Hawkeyes, and they lead 6-0. Reichhardt makes good on the conversion as Iowa takes a 7-0 lead. Notre Dame's ball again on their own 23. Williams back to pass. He throws, but Hawkeye halfback Paulson intercepts on the 36, runs back laterally across the field, and is finally driven out of bounds by Williams on the Notre Dame 26. A penalty helps shove the Hawkeyes back to the Irish 39, where Drawn fades to throw one. Drawn flips a screen pass to Reichhardt in the left flat, and Reichhardt makes his way to the Notre Dame 27. The Hawkeyes strike through the air again, with Drawn fading and passing into the right flat. Comack makes a beautiful running catch on the 20 and just beats Notre Dame's Billy Gay into the corner of the end zone. Iowa leads 13-0. Once again, Reichhardt is good with the conversion, and the Irish find themselves on the short end of a 14-0 score. The Irish now surge back. Landry takes Mazur's pitch out and picks his way through the Iowa secondary. Landry opens up and sprints all the way down to the 20-yard line of the Hawkeyes. The Irish take to the air with John Mazur and Pettitbone collaborating to put the ball down on the Iowa 6. With the ball on the Hawkeyes 4, Notre Dame's quarterback, John Mazur, hands off to peppery Pettitbone, who pounds across to put the Irish back in the game, 14-6. Vince Mischevitz makes it 14-7 with a perfect placement. In the third period now, Notre Dame still on the comeback trail. Williams passes, and it's complete to Ostrowski on the Iowa 40, and Chet carries on for 4 yards before being flipped on the Hawkeyes 36. Williams blends his air in ground offensive very well as Jack Landry cuts for 8 yards through the Iowa forward wall. It's back to the air for the Irish. Williams slinging a short spot pass to Chet Ostrowski that clicks for 6 more. Notre Dame down on the Iowa 8. Then Pettitbone adds 4 more to the Irish cause. A Williams to Landry handoff carries the ball all the way down to the Hawkeyes' half-yard line. John Pettitbone is stopped just inches short of a score. But here Pettitbone gets the call again, and over he goes. Iowa leads now 14-13. On the all-important extra point, Vince Mischevitz bangs home the 14th point as the Fighting Irish come from behind and tie Iowa 14-14. Southern California's Trojans upset Notre Dame 9-7 in the season's finale. In the initial period, it's Notre Dame's ball in their own 42. Williams rifles a bullet pass to Pettitbone, who is dropped at midfield. On a quick opener, Irish fullback Jack Landry cuts for a 10-yard ground gainer through the Trojan line. The Irish now shift from their conventional T into a single wing right. Pettitbone in the tailback slot takes a direct pass and comes out to his right. Pettitbone cuts downfield, but the ball is jarred out of his hands, and Southern Cal's Bob Piviani recovers in midair to choke off the Notre Dame scoring bid. In the second quarter, the Irish are again on the loose, with Pettitbone threading his way through the Trojans' defense on a neat gain. First and 10 for Notre Dame on the Southern Cal 44. Williams flips a short pass to Bill Barrett that clicks for 5. On fourth down, Williams sneaks to the USC 31, giving the Irish another first down. Jack Landry over the left side of the Notre Dame line for 7 more. Williams on a quarterback sneak cuts into the Southern Cal line for a first down on the Trojans' 18. The slow-motion camera captivates the action as Notre Dame's Bob Williams fades to pass. Williams spots his man and lets it go. Pettitbone is there and grabs it, and he has dropped just 1 yard shy of a touchdown. Williams, led by the forward wall, pushes over the goal line as the Fighting Irish hang up 6 points on the scoreboard. For Notre Dame, Vince Mischevitz directs the pigskin through the uprights to make the score read 7-0 Notre Dame. Mischevitz kicks off for the Irish. It's a long, high end-over-end kick that's taken by Jim Sears on the 6. Sears cuts out to his left, darts between 2 tacklers, and moves into the clear. Sears shows his heels to the Irish in futile pursuit as he breaks loose on a dazzling 94-yard touchdown trot. Southern Cal's Frank Gifford adds the conversion that throws the game into a 7-7 stalemate at the end of the first half. In the second half, the Trojans force Notre Dame to punt. USC guard Paul McMurdy breaks through to block Williams' kick for a safety that wins the game for Southern California 9-7. And so another football season comes to a close at Notre Dame. Although in the light of recent years, the record of the 1950 team is not quite as impressive as some of its predecessors, not once in victory or defeat did these boys fail to uphold the strong and fiery traditions of the Fighting Irish. It has been said that you can't win them all, but that's one policy to which the Irish don't adhere. So you can be sure that next year, Frank Leahy will bring Notre Dame back to the top.